first of all, we understand what is this keyword. So this is also a keyword in Java. So this keyword in Java is a reference variable to refer to the current object of method or constructor. We'll see in when we'll also write a program as well to understand how is this actually. So the main purpose of using this keyword in Java is to remove the confusion between a class attribute and parameter that have same name. So let's say if I'm using one variable, okay, or if I'm using one method which is having the same name. So to remove the confusion, actually I'll be using this keyword. Okay, so let's write one program here and we'll understand sometimes we use same variable, same name of variable. Actually we'll have a same name of variable, so that's why confusion comes there actually. So let's say it's a this. Okay, I'm creating one package here and I'm creating one class here, which will be, I can say, account. All right, so in this, let's have two variable. So I will declare two variable here. So it will be int integer a and int integer b. Okay, so now variable we are having here. Let's create one method here under this class, because see, why we create class and object? To have all our methods inside it actually. So we will be having our method. We cannot have method outside of this actually. So we'll be having under class. So it will be public. Okay. Void. We don't want to return anything, so it will be void. Okay, and we'll say set data. You can give any name, but for setting a data, we normally use set data. For retrieving data, we use get data. So this is how we use actually. Okay, so here I'm saying integer a. Okay, one parameter. I'm passing one more parameter, which is a. So there is a two parameter we are having here in this method. Okay, method can be with parameter, without parameter as well. Okay, even if I'm not having anything here, it will be without parameter actually. So there is two parameter, which is a and b. Now, if I write a equal to a, and if I say b equal to b, right? Now what I'm doing here is I'm saying a value, whatever value will be having in a will come to this place and a equal to a. B will come here. If I select this one will be selected, right? So this b value will come here. So now a equal to whatever we'll be having, b equal to whatever we'll be having. Clear? Now done. What we can do here is now we'll close. This is done. So this my method is done. All right. Now what I can do, I can say show the data. Let's show the data. So we'll say public void. As I say, we can say show. I mean, it's always you use a unique name actually. So show data or get data, we can say like this. Okay. So this is the method which I'm having here. All right. Now what we're going to do here is we'll print this actually. So we'll say system.out.println, which we use for printing the things. We'll say value of a. All right. So this is there and a. We're printing a here. Now let's come here. We'll say system.out.println will print value b as well. So let's say value of b, and this is the right. It's done. So this two methods is done now. Now we need to call this method to print, right? Because we didn't create any object so far. So we'll be creating an object where main method is main method here. Now we'll say a class name is here. We'll create an object of class. It's class obj, and then use new keyword. As soon as you will use new keyword, object will be created. Okay, so this is what we did. Now if I say here, let me just put here obj dot, will say what is the set name. Set name is came here. We have to say it, we have to give some value right here. If I give some value here, it will go to A. Second one, it will go to B. Right? Let it be here. Then we'll say obj dot show, or what is get data. Data is printed. So here there's no argument. It's just showing the data. So whatever data will be assigned, whatever the value will be assigned to this variable, we will just show the value here using this statement command. I mean system.println command, right? So this is done. Now let's try to run this actually. Everything is correct. Nothing is wrong here, right? Let's run it there. It's saying A 0 and B is 0. Okay, so let me give something here. So if I say 2, and now let's run here. Still it's saying 0 0. So what should I do actually? Because see, I'm passing here 2 and 3. Ideally 2 and 3 should come here. It should be 2, it should be 3. A equal to B, A and B should show as a 2 and 3. Because what is happening here is, whatever the name, I mean, whatever the, I would say, reference variable. So whatever the, it's confused here actually. So here we have given A and B. Here also we have given A and B. Even if I click on this, see, it's also referring this one. If I click on this one, it's also referring this one. This also referring this one, and this is also referring this one. See, it's not referring this variable which we have given outside. So name is same. So now the confusion comes here. Which should I refer? I know this is, that's fine. If this one refer to this one and this one refer to this B, that's fine. But this A should refer to this one and this B refer to this one. Right? So instead of this one, if I say this, and now if I come here, this will be highlighted. If I say this keyword here, now this one is not highlighting, this one is highlighting. So now A and B. So now this is having a value. As soon as 2 will come, 2 will assign here, 2 will go here. So A equal to 2, B come here, B equal to 3. So this is done. All right, so let's run now. See, so when, that's why, you know, in definition, and when I say this keyword in Java is a reference variable that refer to a current object of method or constructor. The main purpose of this keyword in Java is just to remove the confusion, because here was the confusion which to refer. Okay, between class attributes, this is the class attributes, because this is directly belong to class. Attributes and parameter that I have same name. This is also same name I'm having parameter. This one and this one is same, and that's why the confusion came. If I have different name, then confusion will not be there actually. So if in this one and this one is having a same name, the confusion will be there, and that's why if as soon as I will use this keyword, it will start referring to a class variable or class object, or even I can use this with a class method as well. All right. So this is my instance variable. So let me write it here. So this is my instance variable, and this is my parameter. In parameter, I'm using same type or same variable actually, NB. All right. So this is done. Any issue in this? Let's try to do some more example on this actually. So Let me create one more class here. If I say this one, if I say student, and I will say teacher, roll number. I can create any. I'm just creating this one. A string. And then if I say float, why? Because see, fees can be float, right? It can be 2.30 cents or 40 cents, something like that, right? So it will be float. Okay. Now we just saw last time the constructor. The constructor is having a same name as your class name. Okay. If I have constructor is just like a method. Okay. It will have a same name. Method have a different name. Constructor have same name as your class name. Okay. So here constructor can be a no argument and or parameterized, or I would say with argument. Here, if I'm not giving anything here, it's like no argument. If I give some value here, let's say if I give integer, roll number, if I say integer, no, it's a string, it's a name is there. And if I say float, yeah, so this is with parameter. Name is same as class name. So this is my constructor, but with parameter. Okay. So it can be have without parameter, it can be with parameter. All right. So now if I say same thing I will be doing here, I'll be saying this one. Sorry. And if I say fees and all right. So I'll be having roll number. It will be again create a confusion here because see, I'm having same name as your class object name or class variable name. All right. So now same thing will be done here. So we'll be using this one. Copy and paste here. So I will say void. I will be saying roll number. I'm just okay, roll number. This one is there. Here will be a name. Okay, so I'll be saying name here, roll number, and there's one more. Last one is a fees. And same thing will be here as well. Right. So here I'll be saying, all right, this is done. Now, what is the beauty of constructor? So last time we saw that, whenever we create any method, we create object and we call that method and it work for you, right? But for constructor, as soon as you create object, for constructor, for class, not constructor actually, as soon as you create an object for class, your method or your constructor will be invoked. So value will be initialized actually. So let's do one thing here.
Is it pulling anything from account Java?
Account Java from where?
Just about student Java, there is account Java, right? Is it linked to account Java? No.
No. No. This is allowed. This is different actually. Okay. This is totally different. This is a separate class. We are not using any extend here.
Okay.
As soon as we are not using any variable from there actually.
Got it. That's what I meant. Thanks.
So here we have main method. We always create an object here to access the method. But in constructor case, as soon as I will write one thing here, as soon as I'll write subject, and if I say S1 equal to new and this one. Okay, as soon as I will write this one, it will give you error. I'll tell you why. So as soon as I will write this thing, new keyword, if I create any object of this class, all this method will be invoked. This constructor will be invoked, and all the value will be initialized. We just declare the value here, variable here. Okay, but we didn't initialize. Why it's giving you error? Because here in constructor you have passed 3 parameters, but you are not passing anything here. You need to pass, right? That's why giving you error. We cannot have like your here you have to pass all these arguments. So what arguments? Let's say 111. Then you have name Vishal, and then you also have a will be in double quotes actually, and then you will be having your fees be any 3,000. That's it. Again, so here when we use float, we use one suffix. What is that? It's a f, and then it will consider as a float, right? As soon as you did this, you pass the arguments here. This method will be invoked, constructor will be invoked, and this value will pass to all these parameters. Okay, so this is how it will be. Okay, last time what we did s1 let me come to that program. If I come here, what is saying, you did to just set the value, set the data. What you did, you just call this method. But in constructor, as soon as you will write this line, your method will be invoked and all the value will be initialized. You don't need to write this line. See, I'm not writing this one. I'm not saying object dot set data, something like that. I don't need to do like this. I mean, s1 dot student. I don't need to do like this and then pass the thing. No, because this is my constructor. Okay. So this is the difference between the method and constructor. As soon as you are done with this, your method will be invoked. Now, only one thing you have to do. What? You have to print. Value already gone here, right? So this one is having 111. Vishal is there. Fees is there. So now everyone having this one, right? Now only just we have to print. So only for printing, we can say this one dot display. That's it. Instead of 3 line, we are writing 2 lines here. Here 3 line. Here is 3 line. Here is 2 line only we are having. Only just printing. Value is already initialized. Method will be invoked as soon as we return this a new keyword here. We created object of this because this is having same name as your method name. I mean class name and method name is same here, and that's why we call this a constructor. All right. So even the issue will be here is belong to role. This also belong to role. This name is belong to this one. This also belong to this parameter. So there's no so we need here we have a confusion. So that's why we use here this keyword. Refer class object. Right now it's not referring class object. It was referring the parameter. So here as soon as I'll write here this keyword, it will start referring this one. All is done. Now your value is set and you're good to run it. Now you will be get the output. See, if I create one more, I can say I will just copy and paste. I can create multiple objects. It's up to me. I can give a different name to this object. What I can do, I can say 1 to 1. I can say Ravi here. I can give some other different number here, 400. Now for this one, you don't need to write this display. No, you have to write. So this will be for this one. Now for this one as well, you need to write dot display. This display will work for first one object, and this is S2 will work for the second one. Let's try this. So the first one is printing, first object is printing this one, second is printing for this one. So this is how we use this keyword to whenever we have a confusion, whenever we are having same variable. So to refer a variable, to refer a class object variable, we use this keyword. Okay. In when we will be writing our code, or when we'll be automating our web elements, we'll be using this kind of thing actually there as well. So we should be clear that why we use this.